Hello and welcome to Lead Card final round coverage of the 47th Annual Wintertime Open. I'm Ethan Wellin and I'm joined in the booth by Chris Brophy.
Here we are at the 47th Annual Wintertime Open. Welcome everybody to the place where it all began, right here at Oak Grove. Leading off first, and he is 3 up on the field, sponsored by Legacy Disc. Give a warm welcome to Rico.
Cam's dad, Bomba, is a 2-time winner of the Wintertime Open. His uncle, Steve, is a 4-time winner of the Wintertime Open. It will be a really special thing today to see him win his first A-tier, following the footsteps of those two great players.
California, sponsored by Disc Zone. Put your hands together for Aviel Gomez.
Avi, 17, up-and-comer. This kid has some skills.
And he's played really impressively steady, level-headed golf. I mean, it looks like the golf of a man who's in his 20s and has plenty of tournament experience.
Our banging Burbankian, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by Headwind Disc Golf, Ethan Wellin.
This guy looks familiar.
That's me, you guys. For a 978 rated player, it's such a special thing to even have the opportunity to be on a lead card at an A-tier. I'm going to try really hard to just stay within my own game and soak this moment up.
I hope you tear it up.
A little nervy on that first shot.
For the final
But didn't miss the mandatory.
47th Annual Wintertime Open WTO. He's from Simi Valley, California. George Stone Cold Cole!
Mix, our announcer. Long-time old-school Hollywood. He was the director of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and professional voiceover actor. He's done a ton of voices for anime and stuff. We're lucky to have him out here announcing our events.
George is a great two-way player. Kind of announced himself, I think, in a lot of ways on the lead card in this tournament last year. And I expect to see good golf from him today.
So I'm throwing from the drop zone. That was no easy drop zone shot. It's going to be a tough putt still. Careful. Oof. Found a hole through for maybe a par. Whoa, let's go.
How about that?
You saved par from there?
Yeah, got a little adrenaline going.
You said you didn't miss the Manny, but you didn't make it.
That's
impressive.
One of those awkward spots where the best you could really do is just get it to 40 feet and give yourself a chance. And pretty lucky to scrape away with the 3.
Good management. Man, Avi really jammed that putt in there. Got pretty good pace on that thing.
For Avi, trailing Cam by 3, I think it's a real question how much you have to press in these first 6 holes. I mean, we've talked a lot about this being the hardest section of the course and really needing to manage your emotions and just make pars, but it's going to be tough in that back 9 to gain a lot of strokes, I think. So if I'm Avi, I'm looking to see if I can maybe pick up 1, pick up 2, and put a little pressure on Cam before we get to the easier part of the course.
You know, Cam's proven to be a handful. His dad, you know, back in the day, he was one of the best players in the world. His uncle, Bomba's younger brother, I believe he got second at Worlds a couple of times. Great player. And they both own a disc golf company. So when your dad and your uncle own their own disc golf company and you grew up playing, disc golf is in his blood. And that was a nice putt by Avi. Not to be outdone by Cam.
So through 2, Avi's already gained 1, shrunk that lead to 2. And he takes this technical kind of flip-up sidearm the great result.
Laced it.
Slide.
Get that slide.
Nice shot.
Good play. Not a gimme putt, but doesn't look.
This one got away from me a little bit, but it did sneak just inside of that mandatory on the left side. So there's a scramble par to be found over there. After a little bit of a slow start, I think George is glad to be in the circle and have an opportunity to try and make something happen.
Got it high enough.
That's, I mean, not a huge putt, but it is kind of clutch with Avi parked and having already, given up one stroke off that lead. For Cam, I think it's important. 2 in a row now, kind of getting that rhythm. Not let Avi build too much momentum.
It's an interesting windup.
Yeah, he really coils. Really wraps his whole body around that disc and then unwinds. Gives him some smooth power. Chris, I imagine you've had some battles with Steve and Bomba going back the better part of the last 15 years. Do you see similarities, I mean, in the way Cam plays, either his mental approach to the game or even just the way that little snake coil throw kind of looks to what you saw?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I've been chasing those guys since I started. Stevie's younger than me, and he's always been better than me, and I expect him just to always be better than me. First time I saw Steve, he was playing Advanced Dams. He was barely a teen, and he was putting up scores that would have won Open. Very impressive kid. And now they're impressive men.
Third straight birdie for Avi.
Coming for it.
Yep. Can I pick up these then?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Three down after 4. That's the way to start out here.
All important tee shot on the 5th.
Oh, and he made that field goal. I was staring at those 2 trees the whole time. If you just split those trees, went right down the middle.
Thank you.
Same.
Carbon copy.
Third one through the field goal. Ooh, almost. At least it's up top.
This is an awkward spot when you get just barely over the crest of the hill. I think there's a strong argument to be made to just play for par from back here, but we carded an 8 here. Can you just lay up from back there? It was hard for me to do. I took out a Firebird and took a rip at it. Man was going to try to take this in through the back door, but it's a small window from that angle.
That bushy stuff's thick. You can't really push it pin high and then flare over.
Yeah. And Avi's going to have a putt.
OB right behind it, so you can't putt too hard from back there.
So that, I believe, is for share the lead. He's already grown back his 3 shots.
4 out of 5. Yeah.
It's a par save putt for me. Really glad to eke that out after finding OB on the second.
Nice putt. Oh.
George lets birdie slip through his grasp there. Four down through 5 is a very spicy start, bearing in mind that 1 is almost unbirdieable.
Oh, he's attacking the road. Yeesh. So many things to hit. Got that island.
I don't know if I like the play. There's a sort of, I think, growing wisdom in disc golf that these kids are so good and the scores are so hot that if you want to win tournaments, you kind of just go for everything. But he had the hot start. He'd already closed that gap on Cam, and I kind of like just sitting back here, throwing the overstable fairway driver and trying to set up a par instead of taking that risky birdie shot over the road.
Oh no. Oh no.
And that, I feel, is really kind of unfortunate to scoot between those rocks.
Got over that log. Nice shot.
Really tough angle for George, stretching out and trying to bring it inside that tree.
Wow.
Give it to him, come on. Sometimes you just need the basket to make a catch for you.
Oh.
So even with the bogey, Cam's gonna gain 2 strokes there, triple bogey for Avi after the 2 OBs on the road there.
Makes this tree look pretty nice. Oh man, that hot start. It rained.
Yeah, Ethan.
Just control the height, get the disc moving left. Expect lead card players to be finding birdie here.
Is it a combination of mids and fairway drivers?
Yeah, you see almost all mids. I was throwing the fairway driver because I just liked, being able to put the disc on a height and keep it there the whole time instead of kind of trying to throw it high and have it dragging down through that space under the ceiling. But I also have a lot less power than these guys. I mean, touching a fairway driver only 270 feet at Cam and Avi's power level is probably a little more difficult than it is for me. I'm just trying to take my time, stay in the routine. I sort of am feeling now that I'm in the rhythm and playing good golf, and I don't want to let an easy stroke slide away there.
Tee.
I just decided to sit way back on this drive. Take the bushes on the right out of play. Cam wants eagle.
Yeah. Pushed a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, smooth guy.
Yeah. Nice shot.
Really good looking shot by George too. George is a great sidearm player, and I kind of hoped that we might see flex sidearm on this hole from some of the players that have that in the bag. I think it fits kind of nicely to work the disc over to the left side of the fairway and then have it finishing straight towards the pin.
I felt like that was the only way to truly park it, is if you had like a 500-foot sidearm.
Yeah.
Or a big lefty.
Well, that's the guy that has it right there, and we still didn't get to see it. Come back and do it for us next year, George.
Probably a tight little angle, and you got that telephone pole right off the tee. I imagined he went backhand for a reason.
Yeah. Threes across the board is going to feel kind of like a part of these guys. Just doing the work you need to be doing to hold your position.
Yeah, unless you got something way, way up there, felt like there's almost nothing really good that can happen, just bad things that can happen.
Hole 9, classic Wintertime Open hole. Powered up, kind of pushing straight to the right and diving left at the end of the flight.
That's good.
I'm going to finish somewhere on this spine and be level with the basket.
There you go.
Ricochet off those rocks, maybe.
I need to get it high enough so it has time to fall back left. Get it out there, too. Shot.
Good result for George. It's kind of fun to see the catch cam on this hole. You know, in the tee, it's pretty blind, and you can sometimes get up there and say, I wonder how my disc went here. Whether it's a bit of ground play or hitting one of those rocks and kind of stopping dead in the heart of the circle. Nice birdie from Cam. And after that triple bogey on 6, Aviel strung together 3 in a row to kind of get the round back on track, resume the chase. Good 2 for George. It's always nice when you're close enough that you can putt upside down.
Across the road to another tough hole. Positions everything on this. You can thread that small gap and stay straight. Might have a shot at a 3. There's a lot of bad places to be on this hole and not that many good ones. Just snuck in front of that. Good shot.
Cam's played this hole well. And I guess that's what you'd expect. He's the leader, but that straight, low shot, finishing into the gap, into really the only sweet spot where there's a good birdie play.
Oh, great shot. Yeah. Nice, Tommy.
That was impressive. Like a flippy mid or something. Expected it to go a lot farther left, and then it just stood up and flattened. Ooh, a little early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Like roller guy.
This is one of those spots. The Wintertime Open layout just won't allow you to do much of anything.
Yeah.
Easy up
Nice shot, Avi.
for Avi. Good place to be.
Cam is going to go high.
Oof.
Hey,
Yeah.
Where was that going?
George really frustrated after a super technical upshot to give himself a birdie chance. See that putt sail by.
Jam it in there. Safe par.
Birdie for Aviel, matching birdie for Cam, maintaining that 2-stroke lead. It's not comfortable. Back 9 at the Wintertime Open. Important tournament to these guys. Things are getting a little tense.
We don't have a lot of A tiers in SoCal, where it all began. So, yeah, big event for these guys.
Yeah.
It's not quite Cam's home course, but it's the course next door, basically.
Definitely in the neighborhood. Definitely a place that
That was
he's
great.
gotten a lot of rounds, a lot of miles.
Comes out and whoops on people at the weekly. Knows these lines. Aye.
A little bit of adrenaline. Just kind of juiced that one past the gap. Didn't give it the chance to hyzer.
Yeah, easy to go long.
It's the same thing for George.
Whoa. Let's try. Rico.
It's a great putt from Cam. The drive was not his best, and I heard him after he threw it kind of clap and say, that's fine, and it kind of gives you a window into the headspace he's operating in. You know, he just believes he's going to make these putts, and the more the pressure ramps up, the more he thinks they're all going in. So he comes around the corner, he sees that mid-range sitting the better part of 40 feet away, and he just believes this is going to be a birdie for me.
First saw that from his Uncle Steve. He was on this same course. He threw a bad shot probably 20 years ago, hit a tree early, and he didn't react. And I was like, oh, I expect him to be mad at a shot like that. And didn't make a peep. And then he proceeded to slam the 60 or 70-foot putt, and I was like, oh, that's why. He was just planning on birdieing anyways. Good mental space. Oh, and he flips that. Gotta be careful. That thing can get OB if you get it too straight. Might be on the line.
The course notes define the out of bounds on this hole as a straight line between the backside of the posts. So the question for Aviel and now for the card is going to be a judgment call about if any part of that disc is penetrating the line defined by the back edge of those stakes.
Yeah, so not the cable, but the back of the wood. It's got to be close.
It's really close. I don't know if we have a good
Camera get us.
camera shot to kind of define this thing. Yeah.
Whoa. Looks
So,
like
what do you think, Chris?
from there, it looks like the nose is touching. I mean, looks like the nose is touching.
I thought the nose was touching. I think everybody on this card does the absolute right thing. Avi kind of comes over and he says it's too close. I don't want to try to sway this call one way or the other. And then it's really, Cam that says that's got to be in bounds. Then we're not going to decide the Wintertime Open champion based on that kind of a situation. So the disc is in, and that means that Avi's comebacker is going to be for par.
Cam hits his 2. I've landed on that same thing. If you have 4 guys that are, leaning over it, trying to decide, and they can't tell, then that's, the old tie to the runner. Kind of got to give it to him.
It does allow Cam to stretch the lead back to 3. been making the same play all week. Just kind of fire it right at the bush. Try to hyzer straight across the front side of it. "14" is marked at 302 feet, so comfortable mid, or if you're going to go high like Aviel, you're probably going to take overstable, maybe 9-speed or so. Just try to spike it into the green. And George says same thing, opposite spin. Makes a good putt there.
Make sure it stays flat. It's a good looking putt. Jammed it in. As the lead card should do on a hole like that. Good play.
I have that as 7 straight birdies for Cam, so definitely in a rhythm now. Not showing the nerves. That title that's waiting for someone to claim at the end of just a few more holes.
He's trying to put that one in. Shut the door.
Same slow, overstable mid we've seen from Avi all weekend on this hole. And George is going to play the spike sidearm.
Back-to-back star frames.
Yeah, good golf. Good golf on the lead card.
On to the Green Monster. Tricky par 4. Combine 2 holes from the regular course. Want to hit that field goal between that big bushy tree and the telephone pole.
Perhaps one of the best holes left in terms of scoring spread. You know, opportunity to get a 2, possibility of a player making a 4 or 5. Found kind of a strange OB there, a week left on an early release. It's really interesting to see how much hyzer angle Aviel is throwing on this tee. I mean, I kind of think of this hole as a classic force-over kind of shot, but he really trusts that understable disc to drag right into the gap.
Looked like if he's going forehand, he's probably playing the safe shot there and might get hung up.
This was a bizarre angle. One of those places you kind of, never seen a disc here before. And George has got that technical undershot, kind of the same place we saw Andrew Miranda in round 1.
Pitch. Can't have space to run it.
I think that just slid by the right side of the tray. Looked out of his hand like he had maybe gotten that eagle.
Go in?
It did. Absolute adventure par. OB left.
Nice scramble.
Cam makes a really good 3. Exactly what you need when you're protecting a lead coming home on this course. I want to see 3 on 15, 3 on 16. And then you can maybe kind of play it safe coming down that treacherous 18th fairway. For Aviel, it's the opposite. I mean, you just have to find as many birdies as you can. Trailing by 3 with 3 holes to go.
The backhand was an interesting choice here. Trickier shot. He's got a pretty good forehand. Ooh. Unfortunate.
Nice.
Gotta kind of play that T sign. You get close to it.
Yeah, you sort of aim at it, and then when you hit it, you feel annoyed.
Nice, George.
I think it is a pretty good shot to hit it, and then up and over is an incredible play here.
Wow.
Comes down with a mid C2 kind of opportunity to still get that par or still get that birdie.
Found that bush kind of annoying, that little bush tree there that you were behind. Try to get on one side or the other.
Cam flirts with the OB sidewalk there on the backside, but it does stay in bounds.
Yeah, George. Yeah, you did. That baby.
For Cam, this is an opportunity to take a pretty commanding lead into the last two holes.
Sit down.
Just leaks away, and I think that keeps Aviel in the conversation, especially knowing that that two-stroke swing is always kind of looming on the 18th hole.
Could be feeling the nerves coming down the stretch.
That's what I was thinking. It's the first time that he's even looked remotely nervous. I mean, he's managed around so well. He's looked really confident with the putt. Frustrations really continue on the 17th.
Yeah. This hole's been hard for the lead card so far. Oh. Backhand has a better finish, but tough start.
At this point, I think there begins to be a sense, I mean, anything is possible, but begins to be a sense around the course that something historic is happening here with a third man named Rico coming to the 18th tee. Be a three-stroke lead and an opportunity to really kind of just, dissect that hole in a safe way, play for par or even for bogey. And that would be enough. The flip side for Avi, I think, is just attack. You make a 3 and see what happens. I mean, we saw Brett make a 6 on 18 in round 2, so those scores are looming.
I won't name any names to protect the innocent, but I've seen 4-stroke swings on this hole with leaders. Somebody throw a 3 and somebody throw a 7 and win by 1. So bad things can happen here. This takes a lot of focus still. Survived it. Oh yeah. Great shot.
Pushing that backside opens up some angles.
Kept thinking that. Didn't execute it, but kept thinking. Just get back to that.
Cam wants to just put an exclamation point. That was not a safe, timid sort of shot. Just the same shot he's been throwing all weekend.
Now Avi has to push.
Yeah. And this is a hole that will punish you when you push.
Much to do, but the layup still might not have a great position.
Yeah, you have to be really precise in that layup. It's easy to get lazy and just kind of toss it to the rocks, but 2 feet left or right makes a big difference.
Nice gap.
Yeah, George wants to get birdie here and secure himself a top 10 finish in A tier. And I think finally takes his foot off the gas there. Just wants to make par.
Oh. If that crosses the line, then this one's done.
This is me just playing super safe, trying to protect my 4th place position. We haven't shouted him out, but Kirby Snyder shot a really great hot round, a 10 down on the 2nd card, climbed up to a podium finish. Great finish after kind of a slow start for him. For Cam at this point, 4 is plenty good enough. Don't need that putt, but we want it anyway. Great tournament by Aviel to finish in 2nd place. Expect to see him back, and I think a very likely future Wintertime Open champion.
Yeah, expect to see good things from that kid moving forward. Keep an eye on him.
Now we're all just trying to get out of the way, because there are a lot of fans here that only want to see one thing.
The Ricos are a popular family in SoCal disc golf.
You got to think that's the first of many.
47th annual Wintertime Open and new champion MPO Cameron Rico.
First of many Wintertime Open trophies
From his uncle, proud papa. Imagine Cam started playing disc golf when he was
Thank you to everyone who
0.
came out. Thank you to my dad and my uncle, my family, my sponsors, Legacy, Dream Space, Ace Disc, Avi, great battle, everyone else. Absolutely fantastic tournament. Let's go Legacy!
Love to see a little bit of passion, a little bit of emotion. You know that means a lot to him, to all these competitors.
solid shooting. 29 down the weekend. Kicked that course's butt.